Welcome to JRTV for the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series from Pocono. We're here in race number 21 for the Pennsylvania 500. I'm Joe Rokowski, alongside me, Trey Bardo. Trey, once again, back home in the state of Pennsylvania here at the Pocono Raceway. You've had success here in this late July race. It's a hot one here at Pocono. What do you expect to see out of these 42 drivers for 40 laps around Pocono?
Oh, they're gonna be exhausted from this one, Joe. Those cars in this heat, it gets pretty hot in there. So I mean, it's gonna be, almost kind of like the longest race of the year. It's gonna be an endurance type race. They gotta make sure that they don't overheat in there. They're getting their fluids because, Joe, let me tell you, if you don't get your fluids in one of these things, it can go wrong pretty fast.
Yeah, you seem to like those endurance-type races. You've won here at Pocono many times, but most of them came in this July race when it was hotter, more slick out, and we'll see which driver can rise to the occasion here this season in Pocono and claim victory. And in fact, two of our last winners at Pocono start inside the top three. Matt Wells won this race last season. He starts on pole for this race. Keegan Thompson won earlier in the season looking for the Pocono sweep. He starts in third place. And also right behind them, Trey, Conrad Evans won here last season, the first race. So the last three Pocono winners all starting inside the top seven, Trey. Is this just a place where once you get into a rhythm, you can keep doing well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, it's called the tricky triangle. Once you figure out that trick to it, Joe, it's pretty easy. So, I mean, it doesn't really surprise me to see, like you said, most of the past winners here are up in near the front of the pack.
Speaking of tricks, Matt as well is looking to figure out the trick to get back into championship contention. Won last race at Chicagoland for his third time of the season. He's looking to go back-to-back and for his fourth win of the season in time with Brett Sierra for the most wins. And Mathis, after his win at Chicagoland, said, "We're not out of this championship fight quite yet with 12 races left. He has to make up a big gap. But if Sierra and Jericho keep running like they have been, kind of mediocre further back in the pack, Mathis can try and gain." And once again, going for back-to-back wins here in this race at Pocono. We'll see if Mathis can get it done. Can Keegan or Conrad Evans maybe get it done? On the topic of RCR, Trey, Justin Atkins, Conrad Evans, they were set to share the same truck after qualifying. However, Lathan Strickland failed inspection, goes to the back of the field. So Atkins starts 6th, Evans starts 7th. They were set to start 7th and 8th on the same row, but after Chicagoland, Trey, it got a little bit more fiery between the two. We'll call it that. As Evans said some stuff about Atkins. Atkins, in response, one of his media quotes was, "I'd rather be in a building with a ticking time bomb than in a building with him."
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think Evans a little bit of an airhead. His ego's pretty big for only being in this thing for 2 seasons, and he clearly thinks he's one of the top guys. But it's just, Joe, I mean, it's the same story every week. RCR is just in complete shambles.
Do you think it could possibly carry over onto the track? These two haven't really raced around each other much this season. We obviously saw at the Lowe's Motor Speedway when they were near each other caused a crash. But do you think it could result in a crash here because they're both starting well?
I would hope not, but especially since you already know that they're having inter-team fights, I don't think they're going to give each other any slack here. And if it does happen at the front of this field, it could definitely make a lot of other guys pretty mad at them. So hopefully they're, smart about it. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, if something does happen, two drivers that want to avoid it. Chris Jericho back in 12th place, Brett Sierra in 13th. They're 1-2 in points. Sierra has opened up that points after the last few races, with Jericho obviously DNFing last race at Chicagoland. Now, once again, Sierra getting the benefit of some luck after qualifying. They're both set to start on the inside row, but then because of some inspection failures, Jericho got put to the outside, Brett Sierra on the inside, so Sierra could try and move forward on the start while Jericho trying to have to find a way down in line. We mentioned inspection failures for the second straight week. 5 cars failed post-qualifying inspection. One of the bigger ones, Lathan Strickland, set to start in 3rd place, and he'll be back in the 40th position. Also joining him back there, the number 26, Nolan Lawrence, and the 1 of Anthony Hernandez, who are both set to start poorly outside the top 30. Didn't impact them too much, but obviously just, a few positions they lost. And then 2 cars that missed out. BP Rose was already set to miss out on speed, but he failed, along with Brandon Beal, who was set to start inside the top 15. The fastest of the open guys also failed post-qualifying inspection, so we'll watch for that throughout the race. If those 3 drivers are at the back of the field, can try and move forward, especially Lathan Strickland, who's set to start really, really well with a fast car in qualifying, but obviously some issues after inspection. As we look out at the sky here at Pocono, cloudy day here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, but it's a very warm day, 86 degrees, a mile an hour of wind in the east direction, so not much wind for the fans in the stands. Luckily, they do have some cloud cover away from the sun, but it is still very, very hot and humid here at the Pocono Raceway. The track located, obviously, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, 2.5 miles in length, this tricky triangle. 14 degrees of banking in turn 1, 8 degrees in turn 2, 6 degrees in turn 3, so 3 very distinct corners with 3 very distinct length straightaways. That's just what makes this track so special and unique. Track opened in 1971, first race held here in 1981. In the past 5 winners in the second Pocono race of the season, Brayson Collins in 1996, you Trey in 1997, Collins again in 1998, you again in 1999, and then Matt as well as did it last season in 2000. It's a 40-lap race, and watch for the field win of 22 to 25 laps here in the Pennsylvania 500, so we'll see how that impacts if we get some yellows throughout the race. Yellows don't normally come here at Pocono, but you never do know. We'll see if anything shakes up the strategy of this race. It's about time to get going here at Pocono. Let's go on trackside, fire the cars up as we go down trackside for the command to start the engines here at Pocono.
Runners, start your engines!
42 cars moving here at the Pocono Raceway to do battle in the Pennsylvania 500, the second trip to Pocono here in the 2001 Winston Cup Series season. Let's go back to the man starting in 10th place, because as of late, he's had some very consistent races, some very consistent results. Luke Rainey started the season mediocre, but as the summer has picked up, he's picked up the results. A top 5 at Chicagoland, some other good races like at Road America. Is Luke finally finding this form in that 88 car to maybe contend for wins now?
I honestly think he is. I mean, Joe, we've been saying his name a lot more, this second half of the season than we have the first half. So it seems like that whole organization and car and driver and team and everything there is starting to find their stride here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if he can get some good finishes here before the end of the season.
Now let's go back to an organization that here at Pocono especially have taken a step back. DEI with Eli Brett especially, started the season really well, but as of late, Eli has struggled. Other cars have struggled from that organization as well, and here they all are, Trey. At the back of the field, the final 3 rows each have a DI car on them.
That's strange. Definitely not. I don't think they were expecting that. I mean, honestly, at this point, you got to think we're close to the end of the season. Maybe these teams, especially DEI, are trying out, new parts for next season, and NASCAR's not liking it at the moment. So, but hey, I mean, you got to try to find some sort of way to test them, right?
Yeah, I guess that is true. Eli didn't even fail inspection. He was back here on speed, one of the slowest cars to show up yesterday. Hernandez was also very slow and failed inspection even after that. The only one that even was set to start well was Lathan Strickland. He was set to start 3rd, the only DI car to start inside the top 30 if it standed like it did, but unfortunately, the 15, the 1 both failed. The 8 are back here, so we'll see if the DI cars can try and move forward, which is very strange to see them back here because the 8 and the 1 both finished inside the top 5 here earlier in the season. The 15 didn't have a great day. We'll see if they can try and move to the front. And at the front, it's Matt Wells going for his 2nd straight win of the season and his 4th win of the season. Roger Ray looking for his first ever win to his outside. Keegan Thompson going for the sweep at Pocono. Tim Gary and Colin T complete the top 5 as they come down the front straightaway. There's the green flag, and we're underway in the Pennsylvania 500 at Pocono.
Well, Joe, they're already side by side. Should we watch this happen?
Yeah, they were 3 wide. Zidell forced the issue to the inside to get them even closer than they were originally going to be. Mathis Wells clears out in front as the race down Long Pond Raceway for the first time. Everyone trying to find a way down in line because the inside definitely the place to be here at Pocono. You'll see it throughout the race, and especially you want to get the track position now because once the tires start wearing out, it's going to be very hard to make these passes work. It's Wells and Thompson to get away 1-2. Colin T trying to get to 3rd. Zidell trying to force his way up, and already the outside fading back. 2 cars break away, though, from the side-by-side battles back behind.
Is it just me, or does it seem like when either Mathis is leading, Keegan's right behind him, or when Keegan's leading, Mathis is right behind him?
Yeah, these two have been very, very close in their careers. And, I mean, think about, Mathis when he won at Lowe's and won Chicagoland. It was Keegan that finished 2nd both times.
Yeah, that's, I don't know how that's got to be on a drive. I mean, I know it's going to be aggravating after a while, don't you think?
I mean, it's like you and Trey Rainey, right? I mean, whenever he won the championship, you were 2nd. Whenever you won the championship, he was 2nd.
Yeah, I know we didn't really talk about it much, but I can promise you that it both kind of annoyed us a little bit. But hey, it's always fun to be battling with someone here, and it seems like those two are always the ones that do it here this season. And I mean, at the moment, it's almost like they're kind of leaving everyone else in the dust.
Yeah, Mathis got a gap over Keegan, who's got a really big gap over the battle for third, which DeLello will take in the 97. Brett Sirius in that inside lane already up inside the top 5 up to 4th place, and right behind them a side-by-side battle between Matthew Burnett on the inside. That's not Jordan Stout in the 17, that's Matthew Burnett. They're in sharing paint schemes this week with Viagra in the car, but that's Burnett going to try and get inside the top 5 with Justin Seidel to the outside, the 19 of Walker Davis. Seidel should clear to get down in line in 5th, and he does. So all the Hendrick cars inside the top 5 early on at Pocono.
They're definitely making their presence known here, and almost 3 wide action right there, I thought, but they were able to sort it out there, and it looks like Conrad might be, actually both RCR guys might be falling back a little bit here after the start.
Yeah, so they got forced outside by Justin Seidel in turn 1 on lap 1, which really hurt them as the battle up in front. Matthew Burnett going to lose 6 to Walker Davis, so the 17 not all that well through the tunnel turn that lap, and Davis gets by to 6th place. Good rebound for him after qualifying outside the top 15. Burnett now Sells in line 7th. Roger Ray from 2nd place is now in 8th. The battle for 9th on the outside. Jordan Edwards on the inside. Conrad Evans down the front straightaway, side by side, racing off into turn 1. You can see they got single file at the front. They're using the draft, and they're running down the front 2 of Mathis Wells and Keegan Thompson.
They're definitely gonna, start to catch these guys here. But you also got to think. I mean, last time we were here, Joe, it was a pretty long run. So, you think these guys are already kind of setting themselves up to come to that. Hopefully, I guess we could say is that we have green flag pit stops, not under a yellow. But I think these guys are slowly starting to set themselves up. So, they're all gonna get a single file here and start to save their stuff some.
Yeah, I think especially at the front of the pack, they're going to be doing that. Back here, they're still trying to battle for positions, get through the field, and get up and position themselves well so that when they do have pit stops, they're up in the top half of the field, not down below the top 15 and in the pack of cars that could pit. And that would really be where issues would arise on pit road or even getting onto pit road.
Yeah, I mean, and Keegan finally has some. Actually, he's going to have big company here as the 97's moving to the inside for second.
Zach DeLello trying into turn 1, but Keegan got the drafting assistance from Mathis Wells, but DeLello really gun the bottom of turn 1. We'll see if he can make it work here as they come off turn number 1. Keegan, though, able to keep it out in front for now. And the battle for 4th could be on. Brett Seaver could be under fire from Zidell, but once again, the draft helping Brett Seaver. Now here comes Walker Davis with a big run, and DeLello for 2nd on Thompson again.
He's going to make it work this time. He's got the inside of the tunnel turn, though. The real question is who's going to get the run off of it. It looks to be, they look pretty much even right now. It might be the 97 with the clear edge, and looks like he's going to get him cleared. Yep,
so DeLello up to 2nd now as they race into turn 3. Brett Sierra will move to 3rd in the 25, continuing his strong summer run. In the points lead, it's over triple digits now for the driver of the 25, and looking to extend it even further over Chris Jericho. Sierra runs inside the top 3. Jericho is now outside the top 10, trying to hang on to a top 15 spot as they battle back behind. Walker Davis looks 3 wide on the Hendrick teammates, but thinks better of it, gets back in line as Brett Sierra tries to fend off Davis to get by Keegan Thompson to get to 3rd. Those two still side by side. Walker Davis right behind, pushing Sierra through, and Davis might fancy a shot for 3rd place himself. Here comes Matthew Burnett, diving low as well in the 17.
I was curious to see if Davis was going to push the issue 3 wide going into the tunnel turn, but he might have thought better of that. Oh no! Oh jeez, that's big damage.
44.93, so there was an issue somewhere mid-pack. Racing back around to the caution. The 44 might be stalled. I think that's the old one of Caden Lynn also on pit road. Racing back around, Mathis Wells, Zach DeLello, Brett Seaver. Looks like there's going to be a restart to deal with here at Pocono.
That'll be interesting. This top 4 is a good mixture of teams here. 3 powerhouses, and then Joe, look at that. Both of your cars are in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, both the Evernham cars doing pretty good at the start. But obviously they had the inside lane, so that can help them a little bit. But oh, look at those skid marks. That looks like there was
that's a hard hit.
Yeah, something big obviously happened there. And Jacob Boyd may have taken some of the worst of it. The 21, the 01, and the 44 looks like he may have had an issue and a mechanical issue, which actually hurt that 44 car.
Yeah, and then I can't tell if there was damage on the 93 there. Might have been some back-end damage, but yeah, it definitely looks like there is some. But definitely looked like the hardest hit out of this is going to be that 21 of Boyd. But so, Joe, what do you think's gonna? You think they're gonna be coming down here to fix up their cars, or you think they're gonna be staying out?
Well, it's interesting to see because they've only completed about 6 laps, right? In the fuel window, 22 to 25 laps. This doesn't put them in any fuel window unless you factor maybe you come in and you take tires now, and then when you have to pit under green, you just take 2 tires.
That could be it, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. I guess we'll have to we'll have to wait to see what these guys are planning here. But whatever it is, it definitely could 100% affect the outcome of the race, even though we're this early on into it. Because if you make the wrong mistake, you could be set with it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, all I know is that I do like track position at a track like Pocono, and I don't know if 6 laps of tires is going to mean something, but we'll see what the leaders do and what the rest of the pack does, if they're going to yield into pit road or try and fake and maybe catch some guys off guard.
Have to wait to see here. So far, it doesn't look like no one's coming down.
Now here's the thing. If you're further back in the pack, do you maybe try and jump off that strategy to get onto a different one to try and maybe leapfrog some of these guys at the front? So far, it looks like no one is taking the chance to come down just too early in the race, you have to assume.
Yeah, so I'm going to say no, you're not going to try to leapfrog anyone.
I guess not. So caution is out for the first time of the day here in the Pennsylvania 500 at Pocono. Let's go see what happened to bring out that caution here on JRTV. Well, Trey, here they're racing off into turn 1, the fastest part of the racetrack, and not a place you want something to break. Smith-Oskin has an issue right in front of the pack. You can see Spurley, Tube, and Atkins wondering where to go. Atkins just going to tip the 44 right here. Behind them, there's going to be some more contact. Laura Chung into Luke Rainey sends the 88 up the track, and right here, Jack Haas slamming on the brakes. Boyd can't avoid him, and up the track, they go into the wall, and it's not over for these drivers as well.
I mean, that's... You can't really put a blame on anyone here. I mean, we have to figure out, if we ever do hear what happened with the 44 there, but I mean, that's probably the worst place to have a mechanical failure on this track, Joe, because that straightaway is one of the longest in this series, and especially going into turn 1, you need a lot more time than what you were given to take a break there, and sadly it ended up causing a wreck, but I mean, it could have been a lot bigger than what it actually was.
Yeah, unfortunately for Oskin, he's probably going to fall a few laps down, maybe diagnosing that issue. And unfortunately for, it looks like Boyd and the 01 of Kate Lynn, they're going to be done for the day. They'll take a look at this wreck once again in full speed. Well, Trey, here they are down to turn 1, and you'll see the moment the 44 breaks right there is wondering where to go. And right here, it just funnels down, too, as well. It just gets so narrow and tight you don't know where to go. And right here, we're lucky that didn't collect even more people than it originally did.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been... There's a lot of heavy contenders in that car stack still, and luckily it didn't, like you said, didn't really involve that many people. I mean, it does suck for the ones that were involved in it, but that's just kind of the luck of the draw, especially at a place, I mean, that's so, well named after being tricky. So, I mean, there's not really much you can do about it.
Yep, so caution flag comes out. Mathis Wells led every lap so far from pole position, but a restart with some heavy hitters back behind. We'll see how it goes in the Pennsylvania 500 at the Pocono Raceway. Mathis Wells with the race lead. Coming back to take the green flag here at the Pocono Raceway. We'll go green at the 1/4 mark of this race. Mathis Wells from pole position continues to lead at the end of this caution. 2 cars out are Caden Lynn and Jacob Boyd. Smith-Oskin has fallen 1 lap down, repairing the issue on the 44, but is back out there on the racetrack. And with a pretty clean race car, didn't really have much contact in that. He's still going, and still out there, Jack Haas. They came in, fixed some issues on the 93, sent back out there in 39th. And it leaves us with 39 cars on the lead lap. With Mathis Wells in control for the restart. Zach DeLello right behind him in 2nd. Brett Seaver, the points leader, up to 3rd place from his mid-pack starting spot. Walker Davis up to 4th and 5th place for Matthew Burnett. Then Keegan Thompson, Justin Zidell is 6th and 7th. Conrad Evans is 8th. The 9 of Jordan Edwards is 9th, and running up the top 10. 2nd place starter Roger Ray in the 55. Good run for Ryan Wilson up through the field. Riley Bridger, Justin Atkins, Chris Jericho, and Jamie Stewart Jr. are the top 15. Back around to the restart for Mathis Wells in the 20. As we come down the front stretch, there's the green flag, and we're back going. Good jump for the front 2. Brett Sear in 3rd, kind of spun the tires in that number 25.
Yeah, we'll have to see if anyone takes advantage of Brett spinning the tires or going in the 1 or not.
Evans will dive out on Zidell. Up front, Davis trying to dive out on Sierra for the lead. DeLello is pressuring Mathis Wells through turn 1, but it looks like so far they're kind of staying even as the race down Long Pine Straightaway. DeLello getting a nice run down this straightaway. Davis also getting runs there side by side in front, and Sierra gets in line in 4th, but the battle for the lead, Zach DeLello is by in the tunnel turn.
I was going to say, DeLello had the inside in a tunnel, and that's normally where you want to be. He was able to clear him, and that's going to bring Davis with him as well. Davis is now to the inside of Wells, so we'll have to see how they negotiate turn 3 here. And he's actually going to have help from Keegan Thompson right behind him.
Yeah, the flash of the 3 corners, and definitely the most important of the 3 corners, because if you do not get off this corner well, it leads to the longest straightaway on the track, where you can easily lose a lot of time and positions. Sierra trying to clear his teammate Keegan Thompson to get in line behind the side-by-side battle for 2nd place. Conrad Evans diving out. Sierra diving out 3 wide to turn 1 for 2nd. Wells on the outside. Davis in the middle. Sierra all the way to the bottom. Can they make it work through turn 1?
Only person like seeing that is the leader, Joe. I mean, he's going to be able to pull away, especially since there's still 3 wide. They're back down the 2 now.
Yeah, the 19 able to clear the 20, but Brett Sierra trying to clear the 19. Here comes Cameron Evans. Keegan Thompson trying to get down front Matthew Burnett. That'll result 3 wide in the tunnel turn. Can they make that work?
I don't know. He might have just tapped the wall, but I think he's going to be okay off of that. I mean, it killed his momentum, but it's better than having a wrecked race car.
Very aggressive move out of Matthew Burnett right there. Matthew as well as luckily got away with one in the 20 being up top through the tunnel turn. Normally that doesn't really work out all that well, but it worked out just fine for Matthew as well as besides losing some positions. Evans still pushing. Brett Sierra might have a shot, maybe 3 wide into turn 1, just like Brett did the lap prior. The race down into turn 1. Sierra trying to get to second. Evans looking on in the third one, maybe looking 3 wide into 1. Sierra blocks it off nicely, and as they keep doing this incredible battling for a second, Zach DeLello pulls away 10th by 10th. Now Evans moves up to try and maybe push Walker Davis by in second position.
That's going to open the inside of the 17, though, and he's going to take full advantage of it. He's got the inside of the tunnel turn, so we'll have to see what comes out of this. But I think Davis cleared himself from Sierra. He did, so he's going to consider, what was I going to say? He's going to confirm second place when I was going there. I had a little bit of a brain fart there, Joe.
It happens. This is a pretty good racing on the restart.
It's the hot weather. That's what it is.
It must be. And this amazing racing on this restart. We don't know what to say. It was Ryan Wilson moving up nice in the 45 for Petty Enterprises. Up inside the top 10 looking for some more. He's just ahead of 200 cars as Idell and Keegan Thompson. Matthew as well as Joe Gibbs cars back there. So Ryan Wilson making some big gains as Walker Davis looking out on DeLello into turn 1. They're 3 wide behind them with Ryan Wilson making that big move in the 45.
Who's going to be the one to come out of this? Looks like Evans going to be stuck up top. I don't think he's going to get that big of a run. He might lose 2 spots out of this.
They're 3 wide everywhere, Trey. I mean, what is this? Jordan Edwards making the big move right in front of them. Ryan Wilson making the big move. They'll be 3 wide to the tunnel turn.
Maybe a little bit of contact there is what I saw. I wasn't sure, but we'll have to see how this comes out of it this time around. Oh, I don't think he touched it.
Yeah, that was close for Cameron Evans, but he did keep it out of the wall. 4 cars breakaway. Ryan Wilson now up to 5th in the 45. Keegan Thompson trying to get down. Matt as well as fading back, and his teammate Chris Jericho trying to get up here and gain some spots back after the start of this race for the 18 has not been great, but he can still try and salvage something. The race down the front straightaway. 4 cars break away, and it's 2 pairs of 2 with DeLello and Davis 1 and 2 and 4. The lead Walker Davis might have it to the inside the 19.
I think he pulled out right as they were going to hit that bump coming into 1. That might have ruined Davis's run there, so that was just unfortunate right there. But he's going to still be able to keep second, I think. And yeah, look, those 4 guys right there, if they stay just like that, they're gonna pull away even farther from this pack.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to catch them. But here we go for the lead. Davis is low and DeLello in the tunnel turn. 19 trying to take it from the nice end right here. Sierra and Burnett get a big run onto these two as they're side by side. It's gonna be Walker Davis leading in turn 3, but Brett Sierra might have a shot for the lead in turn 3.
I think that kind of confirms that they're not listening to us up here.
Nope, I don't think they are. I think that they're going 100%, especially for Walker Davis. They're right. He's not had many chances at all to run well, even win a race this season. I think if he has a shot, he's definitely going for it big time.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, take everything you can whenever you get the chances to run up front, and he's definitely making it worth it right now. And his teammates still up inside the top 10. So, Joe, this could be a good day for you.
Yeah, Jordan Edwards up to 8th place, getting by Roger Ayers back there, and still Chris Jericho fading back. He was on the inside moving forward, but now he's back on the outside, falling behind now Jordan Stout. Keegan Thompson looking to the inside, so once again for Chris Jericho, this could be a bad day. As Brett Sierra's bound for 2nd place. It could once again extend that points out even further than it already is. It's over 100 points already, and it could be up to a size. Jericho got it earlier in the season, like 130 or so.
How did Jericho do last time we were here?
He did kind of average, so once again kind of following that trend.
His average or the normal average?
The normal average. He was kind of,
Gotcha. Hey, we just had to make sure. I mean, Jericho's finishing average right now is what still? I don't even know what it is still. It was pretty good last time we checked. I know that.
Not as good as Brett's anymore because Brett has obviously taken over the points and extended it big time. Jericho's been involved in some issues throughout the summer, so Brett Sierra now has the best average finishing position of the season, but both of them are still within the top 10. But without what's going on at Pocono, Chris Jericho could fall outside the top 10 average finishing position if it keeps going how it's going.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not what he wants to see. But, Joe, you called it. I mean, you said last time during the summer months, Sierra picked it up and Jericho started to fall off, and it seems like it's the trends are, starting to do the same thing. So hopefully they can find a way to stop it here and start to get good finishes soon. But at the moment, DeLello is he's just falling back.
Yeah, he can't find a way down to the inside. Ryan Wilson moves inside the top 5 to 4th for Petty Enterprise. A good run for that team. For 2nd, Burnett's looking out on Sierra into turn 1. We'll see if the draft from the 19 can help the 25 so far doesn't. Matthew Burnett is low for second place, but no one really behind to give him a push. We'll see if the 25 gets enough draft from the 19 to get by and clear the 17. But Burnett, a great run through turn 1 down this long punch straightaway, should have the shot to the inside, should get the spot in the tunnel turn using the inside lane.
We'll have to see if he can launch it in there and clear him coming off. So far, so good coming off of it. Looks like he's got him cleared, so good pass by the 17 there to secure second place, and that brings up everyone else there to get into this fight for second.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Wilson now to make it another car, and then Zach DeLello just behind got in line. Then you have Conrad Evans up, moving for a top 5 possibly. Jordan Edwards trying to move by the 24 Zidell as they race down the front straightaway. Roger Ray trying to get back up along with the number 20 Matheus Wells as they race down the front straightaway. Zidell gets down in front of Jordan Edwards as they race to turn 1. Roger Ray looking on the 9 to get to 8th place right here. And those two right behind Jordan Edwards, they start on the front row, just opposite way that they're going right now with Matheus Wells on the inside to start. Roger is on the outside, but here they are right again by Matheus Wells here as they race off turn 1.
I think we're in that part of the race where everyone's starting to calm down a little bit here. And, you got the occasional pass, as we can see right here, going on for third, but it's not going to develop whatsoever. But, yeah, I think these guys are starting to, relax a little bit. They got that one caution out of the way. They're just going to slowly make up the positions as they can get them. Or, if they can't, they're just going to ride in line and make themselves comfortable till either pit stops come around or they see a better opportunity to, advance their position.
I was about to say, for pit stops, they're going to be coming up soon because we're coming around to complete the 19th lap, so it'll be midway next time by at Pocono, which means the pit window will be open to make it from there, and we'll see who is the first to dive in for the lead. Matthew Burnett looking on Davis into turn 1. Davis covers it off the bow for third. Wilson maybe gave a shove to Brett Stewart at the racetrack. Ryan Wilson wants third for Petty Enterprises off turn 1. They're side by side. DeLello goes with Wilson. Evans looking high with Sierra for now, but here comes Zach DeLello, maybe 3 wide to the tunnel turn.
Well, so far with 3 wide in the tunnel turn, we saw one guy hit the wall and the other one didn't. Oh, wow, that was a close call between those two. And
luckily for Brett Sear, did get down line, keeps third place. Now Ryan Wilson might lose 4th because of that. It's a mess behind with Keegan Thompson, Keyshawn Richardson in a battle. DeLello moving low will get to 4th again. Zidell looking for the top 5 in the 24, but as mentioned, midway this time behind the Pennsylvania 500. 1 caution flag so far, but pit stops now within range. The field window 22 to 25 laps. You have to think the few laps under the caution flag could help them maybe extend it out, maybe 24 to 27 laps. But definitely once we hit lap number 22, the pit window could be open for drivers who want to undercut and get some track position that way with fresher tires sooner.
Who would you even say wants to undercut by this point? I mean, anyone, I would probably say
maybe
from 5th on back.
Maybe this guy.
Oh, he is making his way up there, isn't he?
Yeah, Chris Jericho, might be driving with an aggression. He's not gotten brakes on this racetrack so far today, and you have to think maybe the DEI guys, right? Hernandez and Lathan Strickland moved up nicely in the 1 and the 15. Kukulon as well. They've been moving through the field from the back of the starting grid. Maybe they want to try something out. The 1 in the 15, the 30 as well.
I mean, considering that these guys aren't, they're far from the leader, but they're not like race ending far back, that they could definitely make up quite a few positions by doing the undercut here. But I mean, I guess we'll have to see what their plan is. But I mean, I would have to say if maybe you're like the 45, the 24, the 31, or the 9, you could even do it there too, because that way you can get up to 2nd or even 1st if you time it right.
I think Ryan Wilson should definitely be one to try that, right? The 45 team, they've not had a great season. They're outside the top 35 in points. Try the gamble, right? This is your best shot to win probably in your career so far, and we'll see if he can make it work for the lead. Burnett wants the lead from Walker Davis before pit stops. Got to the inside, but might not be able to hold it. Great run for Davis on the outside. Now Sierra might get put to the outside by DeLello and Wilson.
I think these guys are getting ready to get into position for pit stops. It seems like the energy ramped up all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think they want the position now. Conrad Evans is going to undercut in the 31.
That was a good thing he had no one behind him there, because I was not ready for him to start braking halfway through that.
His teammate Kukulon comes in further back with Roger Ray in between them. So far, those 3 are some of the heavy hitters that have come in. Evans was inside the top 10 along with Roger Ray, so this could be really big for them depending on when the others. It's just those 3 for the lead. Burnett and Davis are battling. This is going to help the drivers that undercut because they're battling. They're slowing each other down.
Yeah, Davis got a huge run off the top side there, and he was able to clear the 17 once again. But yeah, these top guys, all of a sudden, they're just really racy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Normally, before pit stops, you want to try and calm it down, but obviously something has awoken within them, and they are pushing very hard. We'll see who comes down this time and who maybe stays out another lap or 2 to try and maybe catch a yellow or something. But so far at the front, most of the field is staying out, and Ryan Wilson will come in now looking for an undercut along with the 9, Jordan Edwards, and the 12, and the 6.
Oh, and Mathis.
And basically the whole field.
Yeah, everyone else is coming down too.
So the leaders, Trey, are staying out very late here.
Yeah, normally you see the leaders come down with the second. Oh, that was close between the DEI cars. Oh, I don't like
Four
this.
wide on pit road entry. Good thing it's Eli and Williams made contact, and finally the 8 will be able to get in, but he does have some damage.
Well, we're used to pit road incidences this year, and 4 wide probably wasn't going to work.
Yeah, not at all. So we're coming around to complete the 24th lap. We'll see if all of the leaders dive in this time, or if there's some more strategy to be played throughout this race. As Davis still holds lead off of Matthew Burnett, Brett Sears, Actor Lello, and the 24 Zidane. We'll see who comes in here. And I would have to think all of them are coming in now with basically the whole field having pitted.
Yeah, I would have to. You would definitely have to. Yeah, it looks like they are. Yeah, normally the leaders come in with the second batch of guys, but for some reason, these 5 right here, I would even go 6 with Keegan Thompson in the back there, really wanted to stay out. Actually, he's going to go around again.
Yeah, Nolan Lawrence, he loves this strategy of going around the longest. He tried to lead that lap possibly, but there he crossed. But if he can get around next time, if his pit stall, well, his pit stall is going to be before the start finish, so it's going to be close for him, but he might be able to lead lap. He's done this. That crew loves doing the overcut in the 26.
Hey, I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I haven't seen what their percentages with that working out. But I mean, it seems like it's working if they do
get
it
to
quite
lead
a bit.
laps, so that's one cool thing that comes from it.
There is Evans, and there's everyone else. So where are they going to be compared to
these guys?
Yeah.
Well, Brett jumped Burnett in the pits. Here comes Evans up to pace in the 31. And it looks like Davis might be able to hold. We'll see. It's going to be tight.
It's going to be very close here. Evans is going to have the run coming off of it because he's up this full speed here.
And
but
he has warmer tires
Davis,
as well.
Yeah, Davis has a nice...
No!
Oh my goodness!
Keyshawn Richardson,
Holy
Jordan
cow.
Edwards, Jordan
slow
Stout!
down! Oh my goodness! Oh
They're all piling in on the outside.
There must be something on the track there. They just can't get it slowed down.
And here comes Eli Bright. Oh.
There's got to be something on the track.
There had to have been fluid over there.
Did you see the hit the 99 took?
There were a lot of terrible hits. I mean, I hope everyone's okay. That was
Edwards
vicious.
was upside down.
And it's going to be Edwards'
what a hit.
teammate. Well, Lawrence is going to now, because he stayed out longer, he's going to...
Oh, I forgot about Lawrence.
Yeah, so he led that lap. Wherever he comes out is going to... Wherever he comes out pit road is where he's going to be. Honestly, staying out longer might have actually helped him because he missed everything that happened there.
That is very... I mean, that might have been the play right there. Plus, he's got... I mean, the quote-unquote fresher stuff. So
yeah, so I mean, I think it's wherever he leaves pit road, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to obviously have to check with the official ruling there, but I think it's wherever he hits pit exit. Maybe we'll have to see where that 26 is scored here. So he's trying to get some spots back.
You would think. I mean, he passes the start-finish line on pit road.
It's gonna be, I think, right there between the 29 and the 15.
So maybe that was... I don't know if that's where he came out on pit road or if that's where he crossed the start-finish line at.
So he crossed the line first, but
okay,
I think it is.
So it would be
exit.
where he... Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, it might work out for him.
That's a really big net gain. I mean, that's just outside the top 10.
So I don't think I'd be complaining there, but holy cow, you want to talk about getting caught off guard, Joe?
Yeah, and you have to assume, right? We mentioned this earlier in the season here, Pocono. We didn't mention it here because it didn't result in anything earlier in the season, but leaving pit road here, very, very sketchy because there's no apron. You come straight out to the racetrack in turn 1.
And I mean, we haven't seen the replays, but you got to assume that there was some sort of misjudgment there that just caused Keyshawn to just head straight onto the outside wall. And I mean, Joe, he hit so hard the back of his car was completely up in the air.
Yeah, that was very scary for everyone that was in it. And then obviously afterwards, there had to have been, fluid from the hit, possibly that laid down because it was such a hard hit. There had to have been stuff out there.
You would think. I mean, it just looked like no one could slow down. I mean, it was almost like lines of cars just, almost going up into the wall before they even got to the wreck itself. And then by that point, you just can't stop. I mean, look at Tim Gary. I mean, the entire front of the car is ripped off.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage here on pit road. We'll go take a look at what happened. The second caution flag is out here in the Pennsylvania 500. It's a big one at the exit of turn 1, which collects a lot of race cars. Well, Trey, similar to the first caution, down the front straightaway, Jordan Edwards has a problem. You see right there, he's reacting in the 9. There is something amiss on this car. Just like the 44, some mechanical issue, and this causes one heck of a crash in turn 1.
You got to think it's the hot weather and that long straightaway that's doing it to these cars. I mean, it's got to be engine-based. It might be expiring the engines, but just watch this. The bad timing of this all. He's trying to get down out of the way But at the same time, all these guys on the bottom are trying to get off of pit road, almost clipped the 24, and then the 97, who's been strong all day, just has nowhere to go, clips him. 97 gets away pretty much scot-free, but then right here.
Look at that
Oh
hit.
my good. Look at how high he is into the air.
Landed on top of his teammate Jordan Stout. Unfortunately, it is not over. Jericho narrowly missed it. Justin Atkins narrowly missed it. Lathan Strickland luckily able to get low. But as you mentioned, there had to have been something on the track because right here, Mitch Corbett cannot slow down at all in the 66. He nails Stout. And then there's just going to be a whole train of cars. Look at Tim Gary. Yepez is lower and slow, but everyone that's on the outside just can't slow down.
You got to imagine these are the guys that already pit, and they're trying to stay out of the way of the guys who are coming off of pit road. And, I mean, at the same time, though, there's just stuff on top of the track. And see, these guys here, they're all into the wall trying to avoid it and slow down here. Eli Bright's still coming through. He's going to hit the wall. I believe he's going to run into, I don't know who, the
Mills.
7 right here. I mean, look, he just can't get it slowed. He's trying. Oh, he just can't get it stopped.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure. We'll take a look at this track once again because a lot unfolded here at Pocono. So here it is again, Trey. Jordan Edwards with his mechanical issue into turn 1. And this just shows how long it takes for this crash to even start. I mean, he's had a mechanical issue for a while, but there's no way to get down. He's trying, and right there, that's what starts it. That hit for Keyshawn, that is insane.
I think Keyshawn's in the air even before he hits the wall, just from bouncing off Edwards there. And then watch this. Everyone just thinks it's over. He ends up going upside down. Luckily, he goes back onto the wheels, and then everyone else just can't slow down. I mean, Joe, this is just... you got to say it. It's a freak accident.
It is for sure, and hopefully everyone is okay from what happened. Obviously, 2 cars in at the end, the 77, the 8. We'll take a look at this wreck one more time from a different camera angle. So, Trey, here's our mounted camera looking off turn 1. That's the hit right there. But watch Jericho on the inside miss it along with Atkins and Strickland. But watch as they come in. Watch the Evan M's car of Evan Hunter, and how he's able to miss it. In this middle of the pack, look at that.
Oh, jeez. That's got to be
Avoidance of the year.
That's gonna be scary. I mean, think about it. He followed his own car into it. His own car got involved, and then he was probably like, I don't know if I can afford 2 cars. I mean, that's a lot of money right there, so I better keep this one pretty clean.
Yeah, and luckily he kept it very clean, and he's going to be in this race to possibly get a really good result out of it. Speaking of good results, the front 2 are looking to win their first race of the season. Walker Davis leads for Evernham Motorsports over Conrad Evans for RCR on the 2nd restart of the day here in the Pennsylvania 500 at the Pocono Raceway. Well, Trey, we'll take the green with 11 laps to go. It's going to be a late race restart here at Pocono, but as we get late into this race, we have to do our lunch chat now because I'm sure the ending of this race could be phenomenal at the front of the field. And last week it was a very kind of divisive poll. We asked if more new tracks are built, which types should be made after during the race in Chicagoland. And you said intermediates, which is kind of a good mix of big and small, but 41% said bigger tracks, but 33% said intermediates and 25% said shorter tracks. I think all of them kind of got love there.
Yeah, it's pretty much as even as you can get it out there.
Yeah, it's very close to 33, 33, 33. But this week, it's going to be maybe another divisive one. Pocono obviously has 2 races on the calendar as of now. Both are 500-mile races. What should the length of the Pocono races be? Should they both be 500 still? Should they both be reduced to 400? Should one be 500, one be 400? Or should there only be 1 race on the schedule for Pocono?
I don't know. I mean, if it's strange because last time we were here, it was nice. You know, we had long runs and all that. This one, it's a little bit more hectic, but I think that's the nice thing about having 2 dates at this track is that you could always get a little bit of each at 2 different times. I mean, it always comes with weather and all that stuff, so I don't know what the point of changing it would be.
All right, so you say keep it both at 500?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So we'll see what the answer is there. At the front's Walker Davis leading, so we'll come back with 11 to go. The list of cars out is monumental. Eli Bright, Logan Williams, you have Pez and Gary, Stout and Richardson. You have Corbett also out along with Edwards and Spurley too. Mills and Kennington lap down for the 44 still. 28 cars on the lead lap. We're back green. Sierra peeks out for a second. Evans had to run for the lead, but because Sierra went out, he couldn't get down, and Sierra might have a shot for the lead in turn 1.
You know, I was going to say Sierra just saved Davis from having the lead taken away, but I guess Sierra decided he wanted 2 cars in one corner.
Yeah, that was the first Brett Sierra racing down the back straightaway. He's trying to take it away from the 19. Matthew Burnett also trying to come down to the inside as he's trying to take maybe a top 3 spot away. Davis gets in line in second place. Mitchell Collins up inside the top 5 for Penske Racing. What a run he's having in that number 12. Not starting too well, but here he is now inside the top 5 going for 4th place. 3 cars breakaways. They're side by side behind. Kukulon put to the outside. Ryan Wilson moving low. Roger Rain, Justin Seidel as well. Matheus Wells and DeLello trying to get away from the pack. And once again on a restart, Chris Jericho put to the outside, falling back through the field.
Well, I mean, you know, we haven't seen Brett Sierra lead yet, and I'm kind of curious to see how his car does out front here. But Davis was also very good leading once he got a little bit of warmth in those tires. So I'll be curious to see what happens here. But it seems like Evans, that is just maybe doesn't have the speed right now.
Yeah, it looks like he was really struggling there, and he obviously got a really good launch, and I think, you know, obviously if Brett didn't get a good enough launch, it could have been Evans leading this race, but unfortunately for Conrad, he got put to the outside. We'll see if he can try and recover. Battle is behind them for 6th place. Kukulon trying to put RCR's good day and put an exclamation point on it. He's up inside the top 6. Matheus Wells starting on pole. He's trying to come back through the field in the 20 car. He's looking low for a 7th on Ryan Wilson, almost some contact between those two. Wilson climbs the track through turn 3 and loses even more spots. Here comes DeLello and right up to his back bumper. Zaydell, the one of Hernandez, 29 of Atkins, they're all ganging up on this 45 who's so far struggling on this short run. 9 laps to go in Pocono, 5 cars breakaways. Sierra leading Davis, Burnett, Evans, and Collins into turn 1.
Now the real question is that when do you time your move? Who do you time your move with? And how much do you pray that it works?
I guess we'll see, right? But Burnett not waiting around too much longer. I think he thinks the 19 is a little bit slower at this point. He wants to try and grab second so he can try and maintain touch with that 25. He's low for a second place through the tunnel turn. But he has to make this move and, you know, clear it now, or else the 25 might get too far away. Here comes Evans low with Burnett into turn 3, looking almost 3 wide, but thinks better of it. Mitchell Collins will go low as well with those two. So now Burnett is clearing second, trying to run the 25 down, but Sierra got a nice gap because they got side by side through turn 3.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Maybe they made a bad adjustment on this 19. I mean, he was so strong before the caution, and then they came down pit road, and it just looks like he doesn't have the speed it did.
Ooh, 3 wide into turn 1. Mitchell Collins forcing the nose to the inside of Evans and Davis. 3 wide right here with Collins on the inside, trying to get a 2-for-1 deal as they come off turn number 1. Matheus Wells back into the battle up at the front. He's trying to get back inside the top 5 after leading a good majority of the early part of this race. Wells is pushing his way through. Davis and Kukulon fall back on the outside. 2 cars get away as they're still through onto the tunnel turn, and Davis might have to give in, and he will in the 19, losing spots to Evans and Collins and Wells, and maybe even Sebastian Kukulon as well as he grazes the wall.
I was just say I thought that was going to be a bigger hit than what it was, but luckily it wasn't because Kukulon was all over the quarter panel of that 19. But they kept it pretty clean, and seems like it nonstop this entire race. There's been at least some sort of RCR cars next to each other up front. So I mean that's something to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, that is. They've had a really good day, and they could place all 3 of their cars inside the top 10 if it all ends out in a good way. As the battle for 3rd is on. Matheus Wells looking low. Mitchell Collins into turn 1 for that 3rd spot. The front 2 have gotten away. It's Brett Sierra leading Matthew Burnett. Sierra looking for his 5th win of the season, and all but one would have come in the summer months. You think about his 3 in a row in the middle of the summer. Think about his Daytona 500 win to start out the season. Well, here he's going for his 5th win of the season. It's been an incredible run of races for Brett Sierra in that 25. He's looking to continue it, but Matthew Burnett wants to try and change that. Even Matheus Wells in the 20, who's had really strong races here at Pocono, looking for another one, looking for his 2nd straight win and his 4th of the season. Evans is clearing 4th by Mitchell Collins, who's back to 5th. Kukulon is now 6th. Roger in about for 7th with the 19 of Walker Davis, and right behind them comes Atkins. How about Lathan Strickland from the back of the grid? But here he is up inside the top 10, the 15, late in the race with 6 laps to go.
Lathan's been kind of slowly sneaking his way up here, hasn't he? I mean, I didn't really see him coming up front at all. But Joe, when hasn't it that this 15 started like almost dead last, and he has a top 10 finish out of it by the end of it?
Yeah, it seemed like he's done that a lot, except for, you know, Pocono, where earlier in the season he didn't start well. His 2 teammates finished inside the top 3, and he had the really bad day while his teammates were, you know, celebrating their good result. Here he is now inside the top 10. Eli's out of the race. Hernandez having a great day, so Lathan Strickland might be the man at DEI here at Pocono. And this race, at the front of the field, Burnett still trying to chase down Sierra. Wells trying to chase those 2 down. The battle for 4th might just make it a 3-car race, with Collins getting by the 31 of Evans. But here comes Evans' teammate Sebastian Kukulon trying to move low to get inside the top 5. He also started at the back of the field, so really good recovery for the 30 here today. In fact, all 3 RCR cars having superb days. Definitely, probably their best race of the season. Even if it doesn't finish like this, they've all 3 run really, really well, and it's showing.
Yeah, I don't think that either of them have anything to be upset about, but let's be honest, someone's going to find something to be upset at the other one about something, because it just seems like that's how it is. It's almost like a preschool with that team at the moment with how they act. But hey, that's just my opinion. Anyways, yeah, they're running great, and you can see Evan still making moves to make his way up front, but so far, I mean, RCR looks like they might be finding some sort of rhythm to their races.
Well, they're all three back to back to back, so I would probably be cringing if I were the team owner of RCR, wondering what could possibly go wrong between them.
Well, they don't got to worry about Kukulon. Kukulon's the one that doesn't seem
yeah,
to
but
fit
you
with
never
anyone.
know. You sit with the team, they could always find something to get mad about. Right now they're running 4th, 5th, and 6th, so there shouldn't be much to be mad about, but here they are late in the race running right next to each other. There could be something to be mad about by the end of it.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait to the intermediate or the interviews afterwards.
I guess so. At the front, still those three with Sierra leading Burnett and Wells, who's Wells I think maybe has the fastest of those three at the moment. We'll see if we can try and get by Burnett or push Burnett up as the RCR guys get up to 3rd, 4th, or excuse me, 4th, 5th, and 6th, with Strickland trying to get up to 7th. Fitzwater trying to join his teammate up inside the top 10, then number 2. Haven't talked about Fitzwater here today, but here he is up inside the top 10 late, driving for Penske Racing. Bron Smig, the team owner from Pennsylvania, so would love to get a really good result right now. Both his cars inside the top 10. As at the front, Burnett falling off Sierra, but Wells not falling off Burnett, so I think the 20 faster than the 17. Definitely we'll see if he can try and get by the 17 before the end of this race. He's looking low down the front straightaway, come back to 3 to go, but did he make it too soon to where the Dreads left the 17 out?
Yeah, that was a very interesting time to make it, but it seems like he's still to the inside, so he might have it done. Now the real question is that if he can clear him by the end of this turn, which I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're going to be side by side down Long Pond Street, which is only slowing them down even more. Wells is probably going to have it in the tunnel turn, but how much time will he lose to Brett Sierra by the time he gets clear of Matthew Burnett? There he goes, clear the 17 in the tunnel turn, but now he only has 2 laps at the line to run the 25 down and find a way by him.
He's in the draft, so he ain't got to worry about that, but I mean, like you said, do they... oh, this will be interesting, but does Matt as well have enough time to catch him? This might be more interesting than the lead battle right now.
Yeah, 3 teammates going at it. Atkins, Kukulon, and Evans. We know Evans and Atkins have had some issues so far, keeping it clean. And you see Evans giving the draft to Kukulon, not giving it to Atkins on the inside, trying to push his way by the 29 on the outside with just 2 laps to go.
You would have to think normally drivers would want the inside, right?
Yeah, you would think, but these two...
Oh, might run him up the track a little bit?
This is getting good for... I think Kukulon might get 4th because these two might not give in to each other.
Yeah, and think about all those guys behind him. They're either going to bottleneck up or they're going to get tired of it and they're going to push someone past the other. It looks like they pushed Evans past.
Well, they're coming to the white flag for the race leaders. Brett Sierra in control, but the pole sitter, Mathis Wells, is gaining and getting ever so closer as we come down to the final lap. Can Wells make one heroic 2.5-mile lap, or will Brett Sierra hang on for his 5th win of the season and his 4th of the summer months? Here they are, down the front straightaway, coming to the white flag. One more time around Pocono on the Pennsylvania 500.
He gained 2/10 that last lap, Joe. So, I mean, if he can time it right, he's either going to make it going into the tunnel turn or going into turn 3, and he's right there on the back of Brett Sierra.
Yes, he is. These two have been some of the best in the summer months. Mathis Wells gaining a lot in points. He's starting on pole here today. He won last race at Chicagoland, which was a crazy one. He's going for his 2nd straight win on the season. Down the back straightaway, Sierra does a great job through turn 1 protecting. Now into the tunnel turn, Wells isn't close enough to make a move. Can he get close enough for turn 3 to make a move? He pressures through the tunnel turn. He's right there on the exit, trying to gain big on Brett into turn 3 for the final time. Can Wells make one last ditch move in turn 3, dive it in deep? So far, no, and so far, Brett Sierra stays out in front of the 25 for the 5th time this season. Checker flag is waving in the air, and it belongs to Brett Sierra at Pocono.
So is that 4 wins in the last, 7 races?
Yeah, that's 4 wins in a big stretch of races. I mean, yeah, I think the only 2 he hasn't won as of late, Chicagoland and Daytona, so that's 4 in 6 races.
That's insane. I mean, that is absolutely insane.
And you have to give Mathis Wells credit. Started on pole, led a lot of laps early on, fell back when he got put to the outside for the lead, but showed the pace, and that 20 was still there at the end. If he had a lap or 2 more, I think he wins this race.
100%. I mean, no offense to Brett, but I mean, that 20 he was able to catch 2/10 in one lap. That was even being side by side with the guy for, part of that straightaway on the front stretch. That 20 was on absolute rockets. But, I mean, hey, the time didn't work out for him, and Brett Sierra took advantage of it and was able to get the checkered flag once again this season. So, good job to that 25 team and Hendrick.
And you have to feel good for RCR, Trey. All three of their cars placing inside the top 6 here today. 4th, 5th, and 6th, and they didn't have any run-ins from what we saw.
I don't even think any of them made contact with each other.
Yeah, I think it was a good day with Kukulinen on top of those two, Evans and Atkins finishing right behind. So all three of them had very, very solid days and very, very normal days here at Pocono, we'll say.
Is that a normal day for them? Is that good to have it be a normal day?
It is. It is. I mean, they just need to complete races with all three cars running, and they finally did. And all three of them ran well.
Well, I guess we'll have to see how they feel about it after this race. But I mean, Joe, I liked it. It was a fun race.
It was. As we look at the finish results, we had a few different leaders throughout this race. Brett Sierra obviously leading late at the end on the restart, got by Walker Davis, and he claims victory here at Pocono. Matthew Wells chased him all the way to the checkered flag, and by about a 10.5 has to settle for second place. Matthew Burnett, really good run for the Roush car, really the Roush car that kind of showed up here today. Obviously, Keyshawn and Stout both involved in the crash. DeLello faded there on the final restart, so Burnett top 3 for him. Kukulon, Evans, and Atkins, as mentioned, 4th, 5th, and 6th for RCR. Really good day for those three cars from that organization. Lathan Strickland is 7th place for the 15, and how about Nolan Lawrence, 8th place? So 2 of the cars that fell inspection went to the back of the grid, 7th and 8th. Really good runs for both of them, and 2 Penske cars inside the top 10, with Mitchell Collins 9th and Zach Fitzar Sr. completing the top 10. Walker Davis faded to 11th at the end after leading a good amount of laps, but definitely a solid run for that number 19. Zidell and Thompson once again cannot replicate the success of their teammate. They get 12th and 13th. Colin T gets 14th and number 40, and Luke Rennie at top 15 for the driver of the 88. Roger Ray, Laura Chung, Jay Reno, Anthonez, and Zachary DeLello complete the top 20, so DeLello kind of faded there at the end. And then you have Benny Lynn, Roberto Crantinier, Chris Jericho 23rd, and that was on pace. He didn't have any issues on that number 18, with damage or whatever. 23rd just on pace alone. That 18 falling apart in the storm runs, and will again take a huge hit in the points and probably be down really close to his teammate Mathis Wells now as we enter into the month of August. And we look down, Evan Hunter missing that crash, top 25 for him. Jack Hosford, the only car off pace with Cement Oskin, then 30th on down, out from crashes throughout the race here at the Pocono Raceway. So look at the points tray. Once again, Brett Sierra Posewayne opens up the points gap massively with Jericho and Wells. Does Mathis Wells maybe have a better shot than Jericho now gaining points on Brett Sierra for the championship?
I don't know what to think anymore, man. I don't. I mean, at first I thought it was all Jericho's, and then now I'm thinking it's all Brett's, but the chances of it changing again are too great, and I don't want to take that risk of saying something, and it's going to end up turning right around.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know at some point maybe Brett Sierra loses some luck or loses some pace with Hendrick Motorsports, and could Mathis Wells maybe gain some of that pace, because he's looked like he's been the strongest JGR car ever since that the Lowe's the World 600 at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, where Jericho crashed out. Wells won the race, so maybe turning the tide at JGR gets Mathis Wells maybe the championship fight. We'll have to see, as we still have 11 races left, though, so there's a lot that can happen. And next race, we're going once again road course racing for the 3rd and final time this season as we head to Watkins Glen for the Global Crossing at the Glen. If I'm not mistaken, Trey, you won this race last season, leading every single lap.
Yeah? I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe, I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think you only remember your last win. And
yeah, that was a good one. I remember that one pretty vividly.
This one we were kind of hyping up as your last win possibly, but you went out there and you won some more after this. So yeah, so the Glen, very good track for you as of late, and we'll have to see how it all plays out there. Can Brett Sierra possibly extend the points even more? Obviously, the last time we were at a road course, he won it at Road America, so we'll see how it plays out for the championship contenders into Watkins Glen. A great race here at Pocono for the Pennsylvania 500, and it's Brett Sierra on top. Congratulations to he and the 25 team. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rokowski. Thanks for tuning in to JRTV for the Pennsylvania 500, and see you guys next week for race number 22 at Watkins Glen.